You can see the first one is just an introduction to your Find an Advisor profile. Now, I used Jeff Danaher's profile information. He was nice enough to allow me to use it. I thought he and his firm did an excellent job of showing what a Find an Advisor profile should look like. So, if we logged into the NAPFA website, you should come directly to the My Accounts page. And you'll know that by this welcome sign. It should say welcome and your name. So some of the links we're going to take a look at are on the left-hand side of your screen. We're going to go over the contact information, your profile, the Find an Advisor activity, firm addresses, Find an Advisor settings, and referrals. If you don't see any of these links, and you only see the My Account links and the firm information, you can click on both of these, and they will both expand. So try that if you don't see any of these on your screen. So the first one we're going to take a look at is the contact information. In here, obviously you'll list your first name, your last name, date of birth, phone number, fax, things like that. But more importantly is your photo. If you don't have a photo, I would strongly recommend uploading one. I know consumers love it when they have a face to go with the name. But this photo right here that you upload is what will appear on the consumer side of the website, which we'll see here in a little bit. But this is under your contact information link. If we go to the profile link, a lot of this information in here is what will be pulled directly onto the consumer side. So you can see this email address, you have one here, but you also have a consumer profile email. It's shown to consumers on the Find an Advisor page. You can also change it to show members in the member directory page. So you can actually have two different ones if you'd like, but the majority of people leave these the same. Now, you also have a primary mailing address for your firm, but more importantly, in the Find an Advisor search, you have an office address. You can actually have up to 4 different locations for your name. Now, if you don't have one of these addresses selected, you're not going to show up in the Find an Advisor search. Your firm will pop up, but if the consumer clicks on the firm, you won't. So make sure this firm address, you have at least one. Again, if you have 2 locations, you can be listed at both, 3 or 4. So those are different options for you. If we go down in this profile, you'll see that we have a bunch of expertise that we can select. These are important, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But there's a wide variety of expertise you can choose, and you can select up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. And again, I'll talk about these a little bit more later on. These designations you can select from. These will actually show up on the consumer side as well. Okay? These expertise designations, planning specialties, additional information, all of this will show up on the consumer side. Okay? This planning specialties and additional information, you'll notice there's an 1,800 character limit, but it'll tell you what characters you're at in each paragraph. Now that's quite a bit of information to put in, so don't get too scared about the limit. You can actually put quite a bit in there. Okay, so if we keep going, you'll see under the firm link. So this is for the actual firm. You can add in your description. Again, this is an 1,800 character limit. This description needs to be filled out if you want your firm clickable. Okay, so some people may go into the consumer or the Find an Advisor site and they see their firm name listed, but it's not clickable. There's no active link. That's usually because there's actually no information in this description part. There has to be something in here for a consumer to click on. Now you also notice this web link. Okay, this web link you have to purchase through the online store. This grants access to consumers to your actual website. This Find an Advisor site is a great introduction into who you are, what your firm is, and what you're good at. But this web link really allows the consumer to go a step further into your actual profile. These URL keywords, I'll talk about those a little bit later on, and this firm email. Okay, this firm email is what referrals will actually go to. So depending on what email address is in here, if you have a referral through the NAPFA website, that's the email address it's going to go to. And more importantly, a logo. Here's where you can upload your logo. Again, this will appear on the Find an Advisor site. So all this stuff here gets pulled into the Find an Advisor site. Your firm addresses. You can have multiple firm addresses. If you have maybe a satellite location, you can have one or two. Okay? This is where you would put them in. You can add a new one. This postal code is what will get searched. If someone typed this in, this firm would pop up under that zip code. So you can add 1 or 2, 3 or 4, however many you have, you can add into that section. Your Find an Advisor settings. If you have more than one person at your firm who's a NAPFA registered financial advisor or a provisional member, they can be edited here. This is just how they're going to show up on the consumer side. So what order do you want these people to show up in? If you go to the Find an Advisor activity link, this is actually a pretty neat link to check out, especially for your own specific firm. You can choose different dates. So you could do a whole year. You can tell in this one I didn't do a full year. I did from May to November. Okay? And in that time span, I can see how many people viewed my firm profile. In this case, it was 88. And you can see total members. I can see how many people viewed my member profile. In this case, it was 15. Information provided. How many people or consumers actually provided me with their information to be contacted. And website link click. This was that web link I was talking about that you can purchase through the online store. If I had 88 people visit my website, 72 of those people clicked my firm website to go to my own website. That's just over 81% of people. So that web link is very important. Visits to the Find an Advisor site, you can see in this time span, that's how many there were. Search by addresses, how many people searched by address, how many people searched by a name, how many people searched for that specific name, how many times was this member emailed. In that time span, he wasn't emailed directly, but his firm was emailed 11 times. And his firm was in search results 1,416 times in this time period. So you can edit the time you want, but this is a really neat page to take a look at. Now for your referrals. If you do get a referral, this is where it's going to go. Okay, this link is all the way down at the bottom over here. You can change or manage the email you want referrals to go to just by clicking this link. And if you have any, they're going to show up down here. Okay, you can even export that list using this link right over here. So these are where your referrals are going to show up. And you can see only referrals submitted within the last 90 days are available. So this is something you might want to refer to every once in a while. But you should get an email depending on which one you've listed. Now, if we actually go to the Find an Advisor site, we type in the zip code and we get a list of advisors. In this case, it's going to be within the Cincinnati, Ohio area. This list comes up randomly every single time. So just because our firm, the Ritter Danaher Financial Advisory, shows up second, it doesn't mean it's going to show up second every single time. It could appear first, it could appear last, it could appear in the middle. It's completely random. And if you check over here, this website button, you can see how one's blacked out and one has a link. This is our web link. Okay, so this is what consumers can click on to go to your firm website. So you can see who has it and who doesn't. If we click this details button though, if I'm on the list and I say, okay, I want to check out Ritter Danaher, I'll click this details button, and then this is what will show up. Now in this firm, you can see that they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 NAPFA registered financial advisors. Each one of their names is clickable, so it brings me to their profile page, which is great. That means they have some information filled out, and I can check a little bit more into them. Now, if there's no firm description, this would not be clickable. So there wouldn't be any firm page, which you'll see here in a second. So let's say I click the firm button. It'll bring me to the firm page. So here's the vision statement. This was the description that was filled out in the firm description area. Okay? And then this was the order you can edit in the firm area. But again, each person is clickable. You can see that they have their designations filled out, which is great. And then if I clicked on Jeff Danaher, it would bring me to his profile page. Again, it has his designations. It has his specialties or expertise areas, which is great. It even has his, some more information about what he does, and even some more additional information on him. And again, a great picture. I can't stress that enough, to get a nice professional picture of yourself on the website. So that was just a quick introduction on the Find an Advisor profile. So now we're going to take a little bit of a closer look at where exactly this information gets pulled from. So give it a second to load up, and we'll get going here. So we're going to take a closer look at your Find an Advisor profile. We'll start out with the firm and get a little bit more specific with the actual profile. So this firm page should look familiar. This is what we were talking about earlier. This description allows your firm name to be clickable. It creates a link to go to a separate page. Okay, we have our web link, which we paid for, and then this URL keywords. Well, what's this? In here is where you can add words or a group of words that when somebody goes to search, let's say Google, and they type in fee only Cincinnati, Ohio, this helps your firm get to the top of that search. So think of words people would type in to search for a firm, and that will help you and your specific firm get to the top of that list in a search engine such as Google. Okay? This firm email address, again, if you get referrals, that's where it's going, and your logo. So all this description, my web link, and my firm email will get pulled directly from here, and it will be put on here. Okay, so here's my web link. Here's my firm email. Again, those get pulled and are located right here as well. Now, if I go back to my firm addresses, in here, this is how I'm searched. Okay, you can do a zip code, but that address information will show up here, and you'll get the full address right down here. Okay, so we'll bring it back to the firm page, and my logo. Whatever logo I upload here is what's going to be put on my website. Okay, so it's really nice to have that, and people can associate the logo with your firm and you and so on. Okay. Again, this description gets pulled right from that firm page, and then this list over here. This is how it looks over here. So you can edit the order in which those people appear if you have multiple people. So you can see John Ritter, Jeff Danaher, Gregory Bush, and so on. So you can change the order they show up on over here. So that's the firm. If we go to you and your profile, and we'll start out with the details page of the firm. So they clicked on this details page and they say, okay, I want to check out Jeff. So they click Jeff's name. Again, if you don't have any information filled out, your name will not have a link to it. Okay, you have to have some information in there. So if I click Jeff Danaher, it'll bring me to his profile page, but this is where all of the information gets pulled from. Okay, again, we have the email address shown to consumers on the Find an Advisor page. You need at least one firm address for you to show up on the Find an Advisor search function. Your expertise. Okay, this gets pulled directly into your profile, your designations, planning specialties, additional information. Down here you'll see that there's something you can choose to opt in or out of in a press request. Now, being a NAPFA registered financial advisor allows you to get press requests directly, which is a great advantage for you because media outlets will come to us and say, I have a story, I need some information on this, or somebody to kind of pitch this to, and then we'll send that directly to you. So you get those directly, and that's a great opportunity for you to get a little bit of coverage out there and get your name out there. So you can actually opt in or out of this right down here. But this expertise, designation, planning specialties, and additional information, that'll get all put directly onto your profile. Okay, so again, our designations, specialties, or expertise, and all of our other information. And your picture gets pulled right from your contact information. Whatever you pick, whatever picture you have in here is what will get put on that Find an Advisor profile. And again, these expertise, this is something I wanted to touch on. These expertise you can choose from. There's a whole list that you can choose, but you can see he's got high net worth client needs, helping clients identify and achieve goals in divorce planning, ongoing investment management. That correlates directly to an advanced search somebody can do on the Find an Advisor. So you can see it's ongoing investment management, helping clients identify and achieve goals, divorce planning. If somebody chooses one or multiple of these and he fits that bill, he's going to show up because he's taken the time to select these expertise areas. Okay, so this is one thing that'll help when a consumer does a search, and it'll help you appear on their search results. So some extras we've already gone over. This is a really neat link to click on. Again, it's your Find an Advisor activity. In here, there's some really neat data depending on what date range you choose. Again, one of the more important things is how many people viewed your firm and how many people clicked that web link. Okay, just over 81%. That's a lot of people driven directly to your website just for one link. So take a look at this information. It's really useful. And then again, your referrals page. Your referrals page, if you have any sitting here, they're going to be located down here. You can edit the address or email that it goes to, and you can even export some of your results to like an Excel spreadsheet. But if you haven't yet, take the time. I've just touched on some of these to help with your Find an Advisor profile. But if you can, click through each of these different links. They're really useful, and spend 5–10 minutes just going through and seeing what each one does. I know continuing education is a big one. My purchases, if you purchase any recordings, that's where these will show up, and you can even view your application and renewal history. So take some time, go through these. The more information you have filled out, the better, not only for you, but for consumers to see on a Find an Advisor search. So that was a closer look at your Find an Advisor profile. I'm going to try and get to all your questions, and if you have any now, go ahead and type that into the questionnaire of your screen. But if I don't get to it, my contact information there is on the bottom. So please feel free to contact me with any additional questions you have. I'd be more than happy to go over those. So we have one that says, would it be possible to provide overall monthly statistics for Find an Advisor activity? That was kind of what we touched on with that activity page. see here. Trying to look for ones that are kind of for the good of the cause. If you have any really specific ones, go ahead and email me. That's what I'm here for. Okay, it says I am a NAPFA registered financial advisor with my firm, but my name is not clickable even though I have a profile. How do I make my name clickable? In that profile page, you have to put in some type of information about yourself. If it's all blank, you're going to show up because you have a profile, but a consumer can't go any further. There's no more information for them to see, so there's no link. You have to go into your profile page, add in some additional information, put in some expertise, add in your designations, and then a link or your name will be added as clickable. Does Google see the URL keywords, or are the URL keywords only used by the search function in the NAPFA website? Google and Yahoo and search engines like that are what's going to see them. That's what that's for. It does not pertain to the Find an Advisor search. Those URL keywords directly correlates to search engines like Google and Yahoo. So if a consumer goes and puts in Find an Advisor, Cincinnati, Ohio, and you have that in your URL keywords, that'll help bump you to the top of their search instead of maybe all the way at the bottom or on the next page or on the one after that. And the cost to add that web link is $125. That could be found in the store under marketing, and that'll follow you wherever you go. If you change firms or the name of your firm changes, you pay that. It's a one-time thing. And it'll follow you wherever you go. I think, money well spent, as you can see how many people want to see your specific firm page. The Find an Advisor search is a great introduction into who you are, and being on the NAPFA website is even better. But having that web link really helps the consumer go that extra step. So that looks to be about it for questions. Thanks again for joining me. Please take a few moments to complete the email survey, which you will receive shortly. And if you do have any specific questions, please feel free to email me or call me. My email is there at the bottom. My contact information is on the NAPFA website. So hope you found this interesting and enjoyable, and have a great afternoon.